In this video we shall talk about infological modeling techniques and tools. We may use several representation types for infological level. The first approach is to use text with lists or with tables. This is the easiest and the most common approach. And the next approach is to use graphical representation. It's also rather common, but it's a little bit harder in comparison with text approach. This is how text approach may look like. We have entities here, so here they are. We have attributes of those entities, these are sublists here. And we have comments here, some text just in brackets right here in this list. Using text approach has the following advantages. Everyone, literally everyone, has the proper software. We at least have to have some text editor, and that's all. The creation and modification of texts are quick and easy. Any comments are clearly visible and easy to maintain here because we do not have to perform any specific action to see or modify that comments. And of course, any text is easy to print, to have a hard copy. But of course, there are some disadvantages. It is hard to represent relationships. That's the worst situation. We literally have only comments for relationship representation in text form. Text form leads us to redundant space usage. We have a lot of pages instead of one nice and clear image. It is hard to represent technical information in text form, so we have lack of technical information here and we risk to forget it. Of course, we may use comments or something like that, but the risk still exists. And the worst trouble here, attempts to avoid these three limitations complicate texts lists too much. So in order to make it better, we are making it worse sometimes. But still, lists are the most common technique for the first iteration of database modeling because we have to discuss a lot with customer here, with some experts here. So lists, texts are really good for the first iterations of database modeling. We can either replace text approach or use text approach along with some graphical techniques like entity relation diagrams, UML schemas, semantic schemas or graph schemas. This is how entity relation, it's here, and UML, it's here, schemas look like. Entity relation was the first from historical point of view, but nowadays it's almost replaced by UML approach because it's more compact, it's more widespread, it's more easy in some points of view, so UML is now the best graphical approach for most database modeling tasks. This is how a semantic schema may look like. It has some entities, real-world entities, and some relations between those entities with some actions on that relations. It is absolutely necessary to use something like that in order to either describe some unknown subject matter, complex unknown subject matter, or even maybe some easy but huge subject matter with a lot of entities and a lot of interconnections between those entities. So here the semantic schema is the best decision. And we may also use graph schema to describe some states and transitions between that states in our subject matter. Once again, it works in both situations, when we have some complex unknown subject matter and even if we have simple but rather huge subject matter with a lot of states and transitions between them. Speaking about tools, we may, of course, use any text editor for text representation, and we may easily use any online editor, there are a lot of them, for semantic, graph, UML schemas. And if we take serious approach, we may use specialized tools, for instance like Spark's Enterprise Architect. And in the next video we shall discuss some examples with text and graphical representation.